Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are taking a look at Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. Now this is sort of a what if scenario from my point of view, as for what if Bernie Sanders clinched the nomination. For something like this to have happened, Bernie Sanders would probably have had to have won Michigan in the primary and bounced back from Michigan, won New York, and collected enough delegates from that. However, realistically, that wouldn't have happened um, because, well, Bernie Sanders got absolutely stomped in Super Tuesday. Whether you blame Elizabeth Warren for that or not, that is up to you. I don't think it would have made much of a difference if Warren had dropped out, in my view. Um, but yeah, Bernie Sanders would definitely have had to have won Michigan and almost every state after that by a pretty substantial majority to have clinched the nomination. Um, because Michigan was where he was banking a lot of it on against Hillary Clinton. He was down by I think 20 to 30 points in the polls. Came back to win in Michigan, which is a massive upset. Not upset, but surprise for everyone involved. So this is sort of a what if scenario. Now, Biden and Bernie have very different sort of strategies, I guess. See, Biden's is more the reform the Obama coalition, as it's called, of white voters, African American voters, and all that. But Bernie Sanders focuses more on the white working class and Latinos. Biden is more with the elderly voters. Bernie is more with younger voters. Biden is better with African Americans. So that's kind of the gist of things. Um, in this election is Bernie would definitely appeal to white working class more than Biden, sorry. So let's get into this prediction. Now, first off, Nevada, Colorado, and New Mexico, pretty easily done there in the likely column. The reason for this is because of Bernie Sanders' pretty good Latino primary turnout for him. He won in Nevada in the primary, and he did very well with Latino voters all throughout. And I think that would carry him in Colorado, New Mexico, and Nevada to definitely get him above likely. Nevada probably around 6, Colorado, New Mexico probably around 11 points, I could see, but not safe quite yet, but in future elections definitely could be. But Bernie Sanders, or any Democratic nominee, would probably have them locked down anyway, but Bernie Sanders being the nominee would lock them down even more so. I think Virginia would also be likely. I think that's going. The Virginia is similar. It's going to be likely despite who is running. However, Bernie Sanders, it would be likely for him too. Another state I'd actually put in the likely column is New Hampshire, being from Vermont himself. Bernie Sanders being New Hampshire would definitely be almost home turf for him in this area of the country. It's definitely going to help him up in Maine, so we could definitely almost get it to safe for Maine at large. But New Hampshire would definitely go likely for Bernie Sanders. I think Joe Biden will improve on the margin anyway, but Bernie Sanders would win New Hampshire by a likely margin. Maine second, however, I'm doing this a weird way, I'm sorry, but Maine second district I'd put in the lean column for Donald Trump. I think his swing from Obama's margins to 2016 were too big to recover from that despite Bernie Sanders' regional advantage. I don't think he'd have a big enough advantage in Maine's second district to win that state over. So let's go down to Arizona. Now, Arizona I would put in the tilt Republican column. Now, my reasoning for this is because, yes, Bernie Sanders does better with Latino voters. That would definitely help him in Arizona. However, the reason I think Biden is winning in the state of Arizona is because of his Mitt Romney voters, his John McCain voter appeal in the state of Arizona, which is definitely carrying him to winning that state rather than the Latino turnout. So I think despite Bernie Sanders' Latino appeal, I think it's more of the Mitt Romney voters who would then go back to Trump because of Bernie Sanders' nomination, which would cause him to lose the state of Arizona. Next, we'll go on to Minnesota, which I would put in the likely column for Bernie Sanders. I think he would definitely appeal there more than Biden is, and I think that he would bring it up into likely. Joe Biden at the moment, I'd have him in lean. but I think Bernie Sanders would be able to improve on the uh, margins than Joe Biden in the state of Minnesota. Next, we'll go on to Georgia and Texas. I think in Georgia would be likely, and I think Texas would be likely as well. I think they would both move from lean under Biden to likely. Only just though, probably around 5 to 6 points. Nothing substantial above the likely margin, but I do think they would move up to there because of Biden's African American appeal, especially with Kamala Harris now on his ticket. I don't know who Bernie Sanders would pick, but it wouldn't be enough unless it was someone like Kamala Harris, which I doubt because he's a more progressive, she's more of a centrist. Um, so I do think they would go into the likely column for the Republicans, as well as Iowa. I think would join them in that likely column. However, Iowa would be a lot more safe. It'd probably be around 7 points in favor of Donald Trump, and I think neither candidate would be able to change Iowa's place from likely. The polls have Donald Trump up by about 2%, but I do think he will definitely improve on that come election day. In Ohio, I'd put it as lean. I think it would be lean under Biden. It would be lean under Bernie as well. I think it would definitely be closer than under Biden, but Bernie will definitely pick it up. Well, no, not pick it up. Donald Trump will pick it up. Sorry about that. Either way, again, too big a swing from 2016, like 2012 to 2016, for it to go to a Democrat in this election. In the state of North Carolina, I'd also put in the lean column, again with Bernie Sanders less of an African American appeal or minority appeal, except from Latinos. In North Carolina would definitely make Trump win there by over 1% in my view. I think Trump will win it anyway, but the fact that Biden isn't on the ticket would definitely help Donald Trump. Now we'll go on to the state of Florida. Now again, a lot of Latino appeal here. However, I think again the reason Biden's winning in Florida is because of his elderly vote that he's winning loads over. So I do think Donald Trump would win the state of Florida if it was Bernie Sanders on the ticket. I do think that the elderly voters would all go for Trump, or those moderate Republicans go to Trump. And despite, again, similar to Arizona with Bernie Sanders' appeal to Latinos, I do think Florida would narrowly go to Donald Trump. However, in the Rust Belt states, I do think Michigan would be a lean margin. This is what Bernie Sanders, in my view, should bank everything on if he was ever in the nomination. I think Michigan would be lean. I think Pennsylvania would join him in lean, almost giving Bernie Sanders the nomination, but not quite, because I think he definitely appeals to these voters better than Biden does. He appeals to the working white class, and he'll try and take them away from Trump, and I think that'll definitely carry him to victories in these three states. Wisconsin would be closer because it went for Donald Trump by a bigger margin than the other two, but I do think Bernie Sanders would pick them up in the election. Now, so this is what's interesting about Bernie Sanders as the nominee, in my opinion, is like states like Texas, Georgia become more Republican. However, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin become more Democrat. So I don't know what the popular vote would look like in this. Again, there's not really much polling data for the Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump scenario. However, this is what I think would happen. Obviously, this is, again, there's no data to back this up, but this is what I think would happen based on demographics, based on candidacy, based on the nominees and their policies. So yeah, this would end with a Democrat victory, because basically everything this year's gone downhill for Trump. So I honestly think any Democrat who got put up, Pete Buttigieg got put up, Amy Klobuchar got put up, they would be ahead of Donald Trump right now because of it's not really Donald Trump's fault that COVID came, but his handling was bad. It's not his fault that George Floyd was killed, but his handling of it was bad. So it's sort of that's going on over and over again. Trump just needs to respond to things better, and he's shown that he can't, and that's why most almost all Democrat candidates would be up nationally by at least 5 points right now if they'd got the nomination. So yeah, this is my final prediction: 278 to 260. Pretty much what was predicted in 2016, to be honest. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to suggest any changes that I should have made to this map, something you disagree with, I'm open to criticism. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.